MIDI knows that just when you thought you had your body all figured out, bam, perimenopause. Suddenly, your hormones are raging like it's puberty round 2. You're waking up at 3 a.m. and dealing with mood swings that have mood swings. Your ears are itchy, your jeans don't fit, you need an industrial-sized fan to cool down, and you've suddenly forgotten the word for microwave. Most women in perimenopause don't know that they are, even though it can last for 10 years. They also don't realize that most of their symptoms are treatable. That's why we built MIDI Health. MIDI is a company built by women who've been through it. Our menopause experts actually listen and treat the real symptoms you're feeling. Your symptoms aren't just common, they're treatable. Schedule a visit with a menopause specialist at MIDI. Visit joinmidi.com. Specialist-led care, virtual visits, insurance eligible. Midlife needs MIDI. Results may vary. Medications prescribed only if clinically appropriate based on a consultation with a clinician. Insurance coverage varies. Check with your plan for coverage.
If your fashion wish list lives rent-free in your brain, you need to be on Poshmark. With Poshmark, you're shopping millions of listings from thousands of closets, each curated by someone with their own style. Vintage finds, designer pieces, and everyday staples all in one place. Search for your favorites or let the discovery come to you. Poshmark makes it easy to find what you actually want to wear at prices that feel like a quiet win. Download the Poshmark app today and use code PODCAST10 when you sign up to get $10 off your first purchase.
Welcome to Higher Health, the podcast that elevates your understanding of health beyond the conventional into a realm where mind, body, and spirit align. If you're ready to rise above the noise of traditional health approaches and connect deeply with your inner wisdom, you're in the right place. I'm Dr. Elizabeth Rodgers, a heart-centered, Harvard-trained epidemiologist, researcher, medical intuitive, and transformational health and longevity expert. In this space, we explore the profound journey of health and well-being, where every choice aligns with your highest self. Together, we'll unlock the true essence of being healthy, empowered, and whole. What if the reason you feel overwhelmed, exhausted, or burned out isn't because you're doing too much, but because you're ignoring your capacity? What if your health and your entire life is being shaped by something you've never been taught to pay attention to? I actually intended to record and release this episode a month ago, but life gave me an unexpected opportunity to practice exactly what I'm talking about today. I realized recording this episode would have required me to push and force against my own capacity, and doing that would have been the opposite of higher health in motion. So instead, I honored it. And now I'm here. Hi. Welcome back to Higher Health with Dr. Elizabeth Rodgers. I'm really glad you're here today. I want to start with a question. What if your health isn't being impacted by what you're doing, but by what you don't have the capacity to hold? Because lately, I've had capacity on my mind. And the truth is, I'd never considered it before. I never considered the capacity of others, the capacity of an environment, or even my own capacity. What do I actually have the energy or the ability to hold in any given moment of any given day? And it's led me to realize that capacity may be one of the most overlooked, if not the most overlooked, pillars of health. Most of us have been trained to push, to force, to do our way through life. Push yourself out of bed, force the workout, push through the to-do list. Because we've been taught that if we just keep doing and doing and doing, eventually we'll be enough. Eventually we'll have what we want. Eventually we'll become who we're supposed to be. But that's the first lie. Because your worth has absolutely nothing, no fucking thing, to do with productivity or performance. There are no awards. No fucking prizes for doing the most. You are worthy because you exist, because you breathe. And as I reflect on my own life, I can clearly see that I spent decades pushing and forcing my way through it, not even fully connected to who I truly was. Just running programs I learned as a child, programs I didn't even question, until recently, when something shifted everything. I was in a nervous system health and restoration class recently. We were in a breakout group, and one woman shared that she was feeling overwhelmed. The material was new, there was a lot of it, and she was struggling to integrate it. I was familiar with the material, so I jumped in. I started explaining, teaching, offering things she could do. And then I stopped talking, and another woman spoke. And instead of offering her more to do, she said, "Take it slow. Give yourself grace. And before you do anything, ask yourself what you even have the capacity for today." Boom. And that moment, it hit me. Because then I reflected on my own experience that day in class. It had been a tender day for me. I was emotional. The work was bringing things up for me. And I was trying to push my way through it. I had never even stopped to ask myself, what do I actually have the capacity for today? And when I finally did, the answer was clear. I didn't have the capacity to go deeper, to take notes, to push myself. What I had the capacity for was simply to be there. And that awareness changed everything. There was nothing wrong with me. Another awful lie so many of you tell yourself. I wasn't failing. I was over capacity, and I had been overriding it without even realizing it. That's when it hit me. How often do we move through life without ever checking our capacity? How often do you walk into situations, conversations, environments, responsibilities without asking, do I have the capacity for this right now? Instead, we override the signals. So let's talk about capacity. Capacity is your ability, your energetic, emotional, mental, and physical ability to hold what's in front of you in any given moment. And here's what you probably don't realize. Your capacity is not fixed. It changes moment to moment, day to day, experience to experience. And when you're connected to yourself, mind, body, spirit, and source, you become aware of your capacity. And that awareness is everything, because connection creates awareness of your capacity. Awareness allows you to honor it. And honoring is what expands it. Connection leads to awareness, leads to honoring, leads to expansion. This is key. And if you have an opportunity and it's safe to do so, you might want to write this down. But most people skip that entire process. You don't check your capacity, you override it. You feel that internal capacity signal. I don't have it today. I don't want to do this. This feels like too much. You feel that tightness and the hesitation and that gut feeling telling you, no, not right now. And instead of listening, you say, but I should, but I have to. Well, this is what I'm supposed to do. And you push anyway. And when you push against your capacity, you don't become stronger. You become dysregulated because your nervous system is designed to protect you. And when you override your capacity, you move out of connection and into dysregulation, which is the opposite of health. And that's where everything starts to break down. Because health, real health, is not built through force. It's not built through all the doing. It's built through connection. And connection is what allows you to feel your capacity in the first place. So what does this actually look like in your life? It looks like this. You're about to go into a situation, maybe dinner with your in-laws, and something inside you says, I don't have the capacity for this today. And instead of honoring that, you override it. You go anyway. You force yourself. And in doing that, you betray yourself. Your body, your energy, your truth. Or perhaps you wake up in the morning and you pause, you connect, and you ask, what do I have the capacity for today? Or even better, what do I have the capacity for right now? And maybe your tank feels low. Maybe you need rest, space, support. But if you decide to push yourself through the day anyway, you're deciding to override your capacity and betray yourself, your body, your truth. You push yourself further out of regulation, further out of connection. That's the opposite of being healthy. And that's why so many of you feel stuck, burned out, overwhelmed, exhausted. But what if instead of forcing your way through the day, you adjust and you honor it? Then you bring yourself into connection and into regulation. That is health. That is being healthy. Or maybe you wake up and your capacity is high. You feel energized, expanded, open. And you honor that too. You create more. You stretch. You expand. That is also health. That is being healthy. So the point here today that I'm making is that this isn't about doing less. This isn't about doing more. This isn't about doing at all. It's about what's aligned with your capacity. Some days, your capacity is expansive. You feel open, grounded, resourced. You can hold more, create more, move through more with ease. And other days, your capacity is limited. You feel tender, overwhelmed, depleted. Even simple things on days like that can feel like a lot, can feel like too much. Neither state or anywhere in between is wrong. Neither state or anywhere in between means anything about you or your worth. But most people have never been taught to recognize that difference. Instead, we've been conditioned to operate as if our capacity is the same all the time, to show up the same way every day, to perform at the same level, to push through no matter what's happening internally. And when we can't, we make it mean something that isn't even true. I'm not disciplined enough. I'm falling behind. I should be able to handle this. What's wrong with me? Your capacity is information, not identity. And when you stop attaching meaning to it and honor it, you set yourself free. And here's the deeper truth. When you begin to observe your capacity without judgment, you start to learn what expands it and what drains it. You begin to notice what fills your tank, what depletes your tank. Certain environments, certain people, certain experiences, and that awareness then becomes power. Because now, when your capacity feels low, you know how to support yourself. You know how to refill. You know how to come back to yourself. So I want to guide you through something, just for a moment. Think back to this morning, when you first woke up, before the doing began, before the day took over. What did your capacity feel like? Was it full? Low? Somewhere in between? And more importantly, did you honor it? Or did you override it? And what about right now? Because awareness is the first step, but honoring it, that's where your health changes. That's where your life changes. When you move through life connected, you naturally become aware of your capacity. And when you honor that, you stay regulated, you stay grounded, you stay aligned. Then from that place, you create your life. You create health. Not by forcing, not by pushing, but by responding. So the next time you're about to step into anything, pause. Take a breath. Connect. And ask yourself, what do I have the capacity for right now? See what comes up for you. And then honor it. Honoring your capacity is self-trust. And without self-trust, there is no real health. Because you don't create the health and the life you want by doing more. You create it by staying connected and trusting yourself enough to respond from there. Always remember, you are worthy because you exist, not because of what you do. Stay connected to yourself, mind, body, and spirit, and to source, so you can create the health and the life that you truly desire. Thank you for listening. Your capacity is never something to push through. It's something to listen to. The more you honor it, the more it expands. Remember today's higher health wisdom. Connection leads to awareness, leads to honoring, leads to expansion. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who needs permission to stop forcing and start listening. And always remember, stay connected to yourself, mind, body, spirit, and source, so you can create the health and the life that truly align with who you are. Thank you so much for listening to Higher Health with Dr. Elizabeth Rodgers. If you enjoyed the show today, it would mean so very much to me if you subscribe to the show and leave an honest, positive review. You can easily subscribe by going to the upper right-hand corner of Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Odyssey, or wherever you listen to podcasts, and press the plus sign in the upper right-hand corner. Also, be sure to sign up for my email list and join my private Substack community to get even more content, value, and support on your health and well-being journey. You'll find these links in the show notes. Sending you so much positive and supportive energy today. I really hope you can feel it. This podcast is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for personalized medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult your healthcare provider regarding your specific needs.